Well, in the outer domain, especially in the material domain, according to Chatterjee, nationalism begins its journey by inserting itself in the new public sphere, by accepting the processes and forms of the modern, which were offered by the colonial state, modern state or colonial state. Means the Britishers or other. India was ruled not only by Britishers, you must be knowing that it was ruled by Britishers mainly, but Goa, for example, was ruled by Portuguese, and the freedom movement of Goa took place afterwards as well. After we got freedom from Britishers, Portuguese people had not given us the freedom in Goa, and they were ruling over Goa. And the same was the case of Puducherry or Pondicherry, which was ruled by the French colonial power. You might be knowing that. Well, so when we talk about nationalism in the context of the material development or material domain, it has proclaimed its sovereignty, okay, not in this domain. It was proclaimed in the inner domain. But in the case of outer domain, the colonial intervene or interruption was allowed. How? Let's understand. In the beginning, nationalism's task is to overcome the subordination of the colonized middle class. So that was the movement. Britishers or colonial power was trying to subordinate the middle class. So that was countered, that was resisted to overcome that subordination. Means what? The middle class were not given the equal position. They were subordinated. Means what? Exactly. How did they overcome the subordination? As they challenged the rule of colonial difference in the domain of the state. Means, for example, they said Britishers and Indians are different. They challenge this particular perception itself. If you are familiar with Indian history, you might be knowing. Therefore, I refer to Swarajya and all. Tilak had asked for Swarajya. स्वराज्य हा माझा जन्मसिद्ध हक्क आहे आणि तुम्ही मिळवणारच. So that is what means Indians were not treated as rulers. They were subordinated, and they were ruled by the colonial power. And even in 1942, Gandhi started for what? Do you know? Chale Jao movement. And we started asking for home rule. Okay, home rule. That is what Swaraj is. So the movement started. So this particular means colonial power was resisted for the rule of colonial difference. They thought that Britishers are the rulers and Indians are the subordinate. So the colonial state was not just the agency that brought the modular forms of the modern state to the colonies. Means we accept the fact that Britishers brought this idea of nation state. For example, France, UK, etc. The nation states were the nation states then time. So they brought these particular elements of nation state, modern state to colonies, to India and other such countries. And it was the same agency that was destined never to fulfill the normalizing mission of the modern state. Means they were not ready to make the situation normal because they thought that the God has sent them to civilize India and other such countries because they wanted to be powerful. They wanted to continue with the rule. For example, means they wanted to continue with the preservation of the alienness of the ruling group. If you have seen means these fictional movies like what is that cricket match is played in that particular movie, the team of the villagers and Britishers. Amir Khan is the leading character in that movie, leading actor. I Lagan. So if you remember the story, you will realize that Britishers considered themselves superior. They thought that they were different from the Indian people. So this difference was maintained, preserved, and this was resisted by the Indians, the nationalists. They didn't. They thought that no, you are not different from us, and we are not different from. We too are have the ability of ruling ourselves. For this, you need to be very much familiar with Indian history and related to home rule and all. Okay, home rule movement, the demand for home rule. Is after that as well, even Gandhi continued with a different form. Okay, so this movement for home rule lasted for 2 years between 1916 to 1918. So actually, they wanted to come up with the independence movement under the leadership of Annie Besant and Tilak. Okay, so that is a kind of movement. Again, I told you under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi as well. Congress in National Indian Congress started its own. National Indian Congress was started in the year is established in the year 1880 or 85 or so. I told you in the last lecture, in the previous lectures. So they started with nationalism as such. Now, as the institutions of the modern state were elaborated in the colony, means how a nation should be. The idea of modern state, it's a kind of institution, and that was means seen in these colonial states, we can say, in the colony. They wanted to bring all those things in the colony. And in the second half of the 19th century, so after 1850, the ruling European groups found it necessary to pass laws. They started law making. They wanted to bring change in bureaucracy, in the law system, in the administration of justice, and in the recognition by the state of legitimate domain of public opinion. So all these models were introduced to the colonial states, okay, by these colonial powers. But the difference is between the rulers and the ruled. That is the problem. They wanted to introduce all these modern state institutions to the countries which were being ruled under their control. But what is the problem with them? They wanted to be the rulers only, and the other people, especially in the context of India, Indians should be the ruled one. Okay, that was their perception, that was their particular approach towards India. If you are familiar with Lord Macaulay's Minute of 1835, you will you may understand how what was the approach. Okay, who he wanted to create Indians who would be Indians by their blood and flesh, but in their manners and behavior, they should be just like Europeans. That was his aim, his objective behind introducing Western education to Indians. But he expected them to be what we call the followers of the Britishers, not the masters. So this difference between the rulers and the ruled was the problem. What was their perception? If Indians had to be admitted into the judiciary, for example, in judiciary system, that is laws, if Indians were to be made judges and all, could they be allowed to try Europeans? Means could they give justice to Europeans? That was the question. Means should they be allowed? For example, a British person commits some kind of crime and he is tried under the European means under the Indian judge. So that was a kind of insulting situation for these rulers. So that was the problem with them. Means they could not even imagine that. Further, the questions they had there in their mind, was it right that Indians should enter the civil service by taking the same examinations as British graduates? Okay. So this kind of superiority complex was there in their mind. Yes, these questions will focus on the approach of the colonial state towards the ruled people, towards the colonized people. This is the case of India. First, the case was same everywhere in other countries in Asia and Africa. If European newspapers in India were given the right of free speech, could the same apply to native newspapers? For example, if some European or American newspaper is introduced in India and they have the right, for example, you might be knowing there are many international newspapers who think that they are very superior and the local newspapers don't have that quality at all. Same with the approach the time itself. So it's colonized or colonization is there, still there. Okay. Could the same apply for native newspapers? To native newspapers? Means should they give the same freedom, the same right of free speech to the native newspapers? So these were the problems, and the colonial state. It's not only Britishers. We are talking about the Indian example. Chatterjee is illustrating it with the help of India as an example. But there were other such nations which were ruled by other colonial powers, including France, Spain, Spanish colonies were there, French colonies were there, Portuguese colonies were there, Dutch colonies were there, all these people. So he's referring to all these people by giving the example of India. So ironically, Chatterjee says it became the historical task of nationalism insisted on, it became a kind of historical movement for nationalists. And this task of nationalism insisted on its own marks of cultural difference with the West. Okay? We started talking about our cultural differences. And at the same time, this particular nationalist movement started demanding that there be no rule of difference in the domain of the state. We are also equal. We Indians too can become judges, can become officers, can become what you call, can start our own newspapers as the Europeans can. Indians, in a sense, I told you, every now and then I'm reminding, we are talking about India because here Chatterjee gives it as an example. So this is how it was a time wherein the strength of nationalist politics was growing. So this is time. This domain, the outer domain, became more extensive and internally differentiated. Okay, our struggle was with the for the outer domain, our rights in the outer domain. We did not allow the colonial powers to enter in the inner domain. So our struggle was our equal rights in the outer domain. because there was a kind of discrimination, and to oppose this kind of discrimination, this kind of subordination, the nationalist movement started. Therefore, our nationalism is was different from the nationalism that Anderson talks about. Anderson talks about the modular state. Okay, the modular nationalism, you can say. There are different elements of this, but ours very different. It was in a kind. It emerged from the opposition to this treatment of subordination, or this subordination or treatment of inferiority. You can say we were considered inferior. We were considered barbaric. We were considered what we call uncivilized. We were considered childish. We were just described as the people with no abilities at all. So the resistance was this particular to this particular ideology. So our nationalism emerges from this resistance, and today we have a post-colonial state out of this particular differentiation. So we started talking about ourselves. Home rule, when I refer to home rule movement, that is a movement for self-definition. So we started talking about ourselves. So this self-definition, at least in the post-colonial India after the independence or after the colonies were established, post-colonial is a very complicated term. It cannot be easily defined. Some thinkers, some scholars think that post-colonial in the last semester you studied it with reference to Homi Bhabha, with reference to Edward Said, etc. So post-colonialism is described as the continuation of colonialism after the colonies were established, or some scholars think that it can be considered as the post-independence period. Okay, after the colonies were what you call de-established. So that is the era. For example, after 1947, India got in 1947. India got its freedom, and after the whatever that period is described as post-colonial in certain historical context. But there are many scholars who think that post-colonial is a situation which existed for long, and it can be the situation after a colony is established in a given locality, in a given region. For example, Britishers established their colonies in India, and that can be considered as post-colonial period, according to some critics. Therefore, I'm not going for the definition of this particular term here. Yes, whatever movement took place can be considered as post-colonial movement, and these elements of self-determination were drawn from the ideology of the modern liberal democratic state. For example, France or other such European countries where democracy was established. And this ideology comes from that. It has to be accepted. I gave you the example of Indian constitution. Our constitution is not Indian exclusively. It is a combination of what you call the Canadian constitution, British constitution, American constitution. So, in the same manner, our ideology regarding self and all is an outcome of our reading by the educated Indians, their readings on modern liberal democratic states. So, according to these are in accordance with liberal ideology, means in line with, as per the liberal ideology, the public was not distinguished from the domain of the private. Okay. The public was now I'm sorry for not now. I by mistake I said not, was now distinguished from the domain of the private. So there were we talk about private domain and public domain. So this difference was established, and this difference comes from the liberal ideology. For example, we say, "This is my private life," but you cannot behave the same in public. As a teacher, I should know how should behave in the class. That is public place, and I have my own life in my private space. That is family. So this kind of distinction was established because of this liberal democratic ideology, and the state was required to protect the inviolability of the private self in relation to the other private selves. The state had the duty, has the duty or responsibility to protect, okay, these selves. So the legitimacy of the state in carrying out this function was to be guaranteed by its indifference to concrete differences between private selves. Differences, that is race, language, religion, caste, and so forth. For example, in India, there are people from speaking different languages, people of different religion. There can be people of different class, means in terms of their economic situation, financial condition. We talk about upper class, middle class, etc. Then we have caste. These are private cells. Okay. But when it comes to our citizenship as Indian, we are all Indians, and the government should not discriminate between its citizens in terms of their language, religion, class, caste, race, etc. So this is the ideology that comes from the liberal democratic state, from the European and American nation state ideology, we can say. So we shall talk about the remaining part in the next lecture.